Hey guys, I'm Paige, and happy Valentine's Day. I wasn't going to do a video today, but I thought it's Valentine's Day, and I am talking about romance books on here, so I was like, you should probably do a video. So here I am doing my video. I haven't done a lot of reading this week, actually, but I have been binge watching The Bachelor, so I feel like that's good too, because it's romance. I hadn't decided, well, I had pretty much decided that I wasn't going to watch it because, you know, just, I can either take or leave The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. I didn't really watch it that much growing up, so it's kind of just like a, yeah, take it or leave it. But I watched a couple of Jimmy Kimmel clips when he was talking about The Bachelor. And so YouTube decided to put more Bachelor type video clips in my feed. I'm like, okay. I started watching them. I'm like, I gotta watch this now. So, spent Monday and Tuesday pretty much just watching The Bachelor. Yesterday, just went online, didn't really do anything. Although I did start reading a book last night, and I will bring that book up in just a second. Anyways, I don't have any plans for tonight, except for maybe just like eating some chocolate fudge brownie ice cream, which I love because it's chocolate and brownies, and I love chocolate, and of course brownies. So, I hope you guys, if you have plans, I hope they work out, and I hope you guys have had a good day. It's been a good day for me, and I thought now I would give you some recommendations for Valentine's Day. The first one, I just finished this morning, early in the morning, because I stay up late. It's called Battle of the Bulge by Mimi Jean Pamfiloff. Yeah, I might say, I'm definitely going to butcher names. Just be aware of that. This is the fourth book in her, oh hell no, sorry, I had to do it that way. It's the fourth book in the series. I haven't read books 2 and 3, but I have read the first book and it's Smart Tass. It's a really good book, and it's free, and I will put the links to this book and that one and all the other books that I talk about. I'm only going to mention 5, including this one, just because I had to, like, go back in my notes and try to find books to recommend, because last year all I pretty much read was dark books and rom-coms, and there's nothing wrong with rom-coms, especially for Valentine's Day, but dark books are kind of just like, perhaps not on Valentine's Day. Although it's pretty late, so, but whatever. So, anyways, this is the hero. His name is Mitch, and he's a famous Australian swimmer, and he gets involved in a bad situation. It's not his fault, but he has to hire, you know, like bodyguards. And the heroine, her name is Abby. And she is going to be his bodyguard, and he doesn't like that because he doesn't think that women can, you know, be bodyguards. And she hates him for that, but she also hates him for something else. And I'm not going to tell you what, because it's not in the synopsis. And I won't tell you what happens if it's not in the synopsis, just to be safe, because I don't want to spoil anything. And so, you know, it's like a hate to love type deal, and it's a really fast read. I finished it in like maybe 4 hours, maybe less. I didn't get to read it straight through, so I don't know exactly how long it took me to read. But it's really good. It does sort of feel insta-lovey, but not really. Just, I mean, it happens over a short period of time, like a couple of months, but it does kind of feel like a slow burn just because you don't really get any sexy times until like the very end of the book. So it's got that aspect, and it's just really funny. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's just, you know, a light read, you know, it's funny and enjoyable. It's not particularly deep, but it does have its moments, and it's not particularly, there's not a lot of mystery to it. even though you don't know yet why he needs bodyguards. But, you know, just give it a chance. It's a good book. I really liked it. Okay, and for the next one, we will go with Katie Evans' Ladies' Man. And I liked the old cover better, but this cover is still nice. Has a nice guy on it. Anyways, this is the it's the third book, in her, I'm not quite sure, I think it's just her man horror series, but it is the book with the second couple. The first 3 books, and one's a novella, so not that it doesn't count, but, you know, the first one's man horror, second one's man horror plus 1, and then the novella is Miss Man Horror. You do not have to read those to read this. I had only read man horror when I read this, and I don't really think it spoiled anything, but, you know, if you're a stickler for reading in order, then you might want to wait to read this. But this is Friends to Lovers. The hero's name is Tahoe, and I can't remember the heroine's name, but the whole book is just them, you know, they've both had, you know, heartbreaking pasts, and so they're not really keen on love, and and it's just their story of them being friends and eventually becoming lovers. It's a really slow burn, super slow burn, and it's a good book. So if you want to read, you know, Friends to Lovers slow burn for Valentine's Day, or if you just need a good one, this is a good one. I really enjoyed it. The next one, this is Bigger Than the Sky by Harper Bentley. I read this in 2015, you guys, and I don't remember a ton of details, but I remember that I loved this book so hard. I would have given it 6 stars if at the time I'd review it, I knew I could have done that. It was just amazing. It takes place, it's a second chance romance. The hero is a former Navy SEAL, so if you love, you know, Navy SEAL romances, this is definitely one for you. And it takes place in a small town, and it's kind of like a runaway bride situation, because the heroine, she really loved the hero. His name is Cade, and they were going to get married, but she decided that she just couldn't marry him, and she goes off and builds a life, and then she has to come back to town, and they reconnect. It's a really good book. Cade is so hot, and just, you'll love it. It's hilarious. I love it because Harper Bentley perfectly captured what a small town is, and it's amazing. It's an amazing book. And if you can, definitely read the second book. This is the first book in the Serenity Point series. And the next one is called Always and Forever, and you should definitely check that one out too, because I really loved that one too. Okay, and this one I read, I got it because of the cover. I was totally on, like, a sugar rush when I got it. I needed, like, sugar, and so I got it just based on the cover, but it is amazing. It's Beautifully Decadent by L.A. Fiore? I'm not quite sure if that's how you say her last name, but this is the third book in her Beautifully Damaged series, but once again, it's a standalone. You do not need to read the first 2 books. And I haven't yet, but I plan to, because I really loved this book. It was so good. Once again, I don't remember a lot of the details, but I just remember that I loved it so much. Like, it's the heroine, she is a chef, and she just started to work for the owner of, well, obviously, she just started at a new restaurant, and the owner, she didn't have a place to stay, and the owner is not the hero, but he is friends with the hero, and he asks the hero, his name is Rafe, if he will let Avery stay at his, like, carriage house, and he does, and they they really like each other. The hero's father, he's dealing with a lot because his father's just about to be released from prison. And so there's, you know, a little, I don't know if mystery is the right word, but there's definitely a lot of action. It's funny. It's sweet. It's my favorite, like, chef book. I mean, honestly, any other chef book I've read has, like, it's hard to compare them. So it's probably, like, my favorite one. It's just, it's so good. And I mean, the cover. Don't you just want to eat that cover? I do. You can see I want my ice cream now. All right. And the last book I'm going to recommend, I read it last year, and it's Professor Feelgood by Leisa? Rayven? Sorry. And it's the second book in the Masters of Love series. And oh my gosh, you guys, I loved this book. Something fierce. Like, the hero is just, he writes poetry. He has an Instagram account and he calls himself Professor Feelgood, and he just writes the most amazing poetry. Like I said, it's just totally swoon-worthy. Like, if I found a guy that could write like this, oh my gosh, I would just be totally head over heels for that guy. And this guy, he's amazing. It's kind of like an enemies to lovers type thing. And the heroine, I can't remember her name. You will see a theme. It's been a while since I read this book. I did read it last year, but, you know, it can be hard to remember. Anyways, the heroine, she works for a publishing company, and she wants to stand out, and so she contacts him and asks him if he'll, you know, write a book for her, since he's such an amazing writer. And he agrees, and yeah, so it's just their story. I won't tell you more than that because that gets into spoiler territory, and I don't want to do that. So just know that this book was so good. The hero was so swoony. I totally fell in love with the book, and I fell in love with their story, and it's just an amazing book. And I realize I keep saying amazing, and I'm going to try not to do that. So just read this one. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I will put all the links down for all of those books that I mentioned. And by the way, if any of you are doing Romanceopoly, that Beautifully Decadent is chef foodie type romance, so you could, you know, if you landed on that, you can use that book if you haven't read it already, or just for future reference. Also, Life Next Door by J.D. Hollyfield is also a chef foodie romance. She's a baker, but whatever. So, that's it. That's my picks, and I hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day. Bye!